Let's start with the dollar. So the dollar has come off. There's a daily chart, and so that's giving the market some breathing space. Busy week. We've got US GDP. We've got Fed minutes on Wednesday. That can be sometimes a game changer if something crops up in the minutes. Most of it is already out in the open on the basis that Fed Chair Powell has a press conference after each session now anyway. But if this dollar's coming into this support, if that turns around and picks up, then that's going to put the markets under pressure again. Okay, let's have a look at the NASDAQ and see where we are at the moment. We are trying to recover. We're trying to pick up here. If we get above 12,200 in the next couple of days, excuse me, then that bodes well. Then that could indicate we are ready for a pickup. So clearly a support pattern under there. But if we lose our footing, break last week's main pivot at 700, 720 and close lower, then we're going to see 11,000 and lower pretty quick. So don't go putting too much risk on the table at the moment, because this market is still under review. The buyers are not committed to this low at the moment. Dow is at the moment much better. If we can sustain this into the close, that's a significant buy signal. If we can sustain that into the close, and we are 3 hours off, so there's plenty of time for that to drift lower. And let's have a look at the FTSE. So the FTSE is sitting up here right under this resistance area. This dark black line is the 2021 highs. So same story. Everything is sort of hanging in the balance here at the moment. We are just waiting to see if these levels can be sustained. Right, gold has had a pop, but is at the moment in this US session with an hour and a half, the main gold session, main commodity markets still to go. Again, right on the line, you can see these averages. These averages are 20 and 200 day averages. So we broke down through the 200, and now we've just popped back and we're sitting underneath it. So decision point. What do I think is going to happen? I think gold might well come back to 1820, 1830, maybe a little higher. And if that holds, then in other words, I think we'll pull back into this 19th of May range. If we close like this today, if we can close higher, we could just continue up and then get this moving average crossover. I'm not a big fan of moving averages, but it is useful just to have them on sometimes as a guide. Silver's pretty much the same, although it looks to me as if we can see 21 and a half here. We're very close to that now anyway. If we close underneath this level here, then this is done. This is just a pullback in the downtrend, and we are looking lower. This is a significant bar here on the 19th, so as long as we just stay in that range and don't close underneath that 19th low or 2025, then I think the silver could get a decent move. Let's look at a couple of other key commodities before we move on to stocks. So we've got wheat, gapped up. It's closed the gap on Friday. Now we're just trying to hold that gap and potentially push back up. If we see $11.30, I'd be a buyer. Last time we did this, was March 8th, and we pulled right back. So if we repeat this pattern, then the wheat, there's actually a gap down there at $10. So it's possible if we can't hold this and we break $11.70, then that can pull right back. Corn's, I'm guessing corn's the same. Yeah, sitting up. And soybeans, they look lower at this stage. They've been on a better run. So I would have thought we can come back. If they lose their footing, 1485 will be a great place to buy back into beans. I would definitely be a buyer of the beans. I would trade that in ETF. Natural gas. Whoa. I keep thinking this is gonna hold off, and it refuses to lie down. That's a worrying sign if this gas can hold those highs and keep closing higher. Going up on potentially lower volume. Things like cotton, orange juice. So all been on runs, and high-grade copper. High-grade copper is interesting. That's a very deep pullback. I think this is a very interesting angle here. $40. If we pull back into 42, I think copper could do well. Let's look at nickel. Ooh. Wow, it's a real blow off. Let's look at uranium. That is a buy signal. If we hold this 1470, that is a buy signal on the uranium. Right, stocks. Let's have a look at stocks. Start with financial. Lloyd's. I would say higher. I think that's volume is better. That's a decent close above this ambush zone. So if this level looks if that level can hold now, so I think 43.80 is a pullback. Let's see if that can go higher. Now Barclays has held up. Very nice push off of that support on Barclays. So if you're not in that, 1.50 is a buy. Let's look at HSBC. Higher, looks like a buy on a dip. And Standard Chartered, wow. We flew up here, so we're pulling right back in April, and this thing's just turned around and every little dip is getting bought. Wow, if that happens to Barclays, we're quids in. Blockchain. Ooh, yuck. AJ Bell is trying to do. I should put Hargreaves Lansdale on this. Right, let's look at energy. Shell. So the threat of windfall tax is not holding this back. BP, Gulf, these are all buyable on pullbacks. Gulf is struggling up there, but the volumes are okay. If you do get a chance to pick up 245, that looks like a potential good entry point. No, I would leave that alone. PFC is still going, but that's at a major juncture up there. If we close above 160, then that can climb up to £2 potentially. Tullow holding up just. Right, anything you want me to look at, shout. Basic materials now. Rio. Beginning to build off those lows. That looks viable at 54, currently 56 nearly. TPI cap. I'm not in this. I've just let this one drift a bit. It is beginning to pick up again. Man group. I want a deeper pullback in this, and it's just not giving it. So it's possible TPI, that's a good signal for TPI cap. Because if we close above this 124, I think this could start to pick up again as well. Elementis. Okay. That move back into 107, 108, it's got bought. If you hold out for 110, 112, because again I believe this is really picking up. Let's look at some miners. Follow on the theme and look at miners. Pan-African grinding higher. That's a pullback at 20 if you see it. Centamin. That's a decent day. So I think 80. You buy at 84. The stop under 75. If you're interested in that one, Sylvania. Volumes are picking up down there. It's a bit of a scrappy chart. Hochschild. That's good. That's better. That's a pullback now at 108. Yeah, I think Pan-African Hochschild are good. Right, let's leave that. Very cool. Where is everyone? Retail. Let's look at retail. Let's look at Boo. Very fragile, but beginning to close higher. Volume's better. This one, Ted Baker has they just signed a deal, I think. This TH Group, apparently there's been 3 bids on this company. So the Hut Group could, based on these volume spikes, start to pick up from here. So decent bar on the 20th. So if we see 120, I keep a close stop on it though. Sainsbury's into a support zone. So if Sainsbury's holds there, I think it bodes well. Tesco. Tesco is trying to cling on. Volumes are improving. Shoe zone. That to me is a good sell signal. So any sell into about 155, 157 with a stop above 167. Very divergent. Major breakdown under this resistance and car factory. I'm in this short. My stop is above that 70, and I'm looking for a collapse. I'm looking for this to start closing under 60 and then drop. Will it happen? I'm going to find out. RMG, Royal Mail Group, very nasty drop. The volume fell off before this happened. I would steer clear of it. I mean, if you got in at £3, great, lucky you. But otherwise, be careful. ASOS, like Boo, it's trying to grind higher here. IAG, I put this in my retail sector because it's dependent on retailers, isn't it? On consumers, sorry. Looks as if that could pick up. Not for me. I'm not trading airlines. Look at metals. Polymetal, I wouldn't touch it with a barge pole. MGAM. Now that is interesting. That's seen £4, and here we are just trying to break above 3. I think that MGAM is a very interesting stock. The volumes are picking up. I need to do some research on that. Brilliant. You're very quiet. No questions coming in. I think I'm going to keep this nice and short today. Anything you want me to look at? Of course, yeah. Let's look at BT. Let's look at Rolls-Royce as well. Really struggling. A little increase in volume, but that's got a lot of heavy lifting to do if that's going to improve. BT. Okay. Well, that's a significant pickup off that support. So if you're interested, 180 is the buy. Volumes are picking up. So, but bought into Vodafone last week, and it's had a punch higher on volume. So that's now a buy at 122, 123. AAF, yes. Now Airtel. Is it aircraft leasing, isn't it? Right to that trend line. I'm not impressed with the volumes. It's not a big volume stock anyway. It's all telecoms, right? Okay. Oh, yeah, he told me that last week, didn't he? Right. Why did I think that was airline leasing? Don't know. All right, so we've got markets trying to hold up. Let's look at where the US is now. Yeah, US is struggling. Pulling right back from this 32,000. Couple hundred pips back from the session high. And NASDAQ, yeah, that's back as well. That's flat for the day at the moment. Right, okay, I'm going to leave it there. I've not got any new scans for you at the moment. I'm scanning every day. Every morning I have a scan routine, and I'm just not pulling up anything significant at the moment. Brilliant. Thanks for your time, and I will do that video midweek. Brilliant.